Okay, this will be my next surgery update video, and good stuff has happened. It's been 2 weeks, 2 days since my revision surgery. From the original gender confirming surgery, I had the revision done, which the revision usually consists of more the appearance and look of it, and the other physical issues you may have, because the way it healed for the initial surgery. So in other cases it's called like the 2-stage surgery, pretty much. The second stage, where they fix everything else because they can only do so much with the first surgery. So I went in to have the fat transfer from my tummy area, which they took the fat roll that was not the breast itself, but right under the breast, that fat roll, and the tummy area, and 2 small spots in the inner thigh. It looked like they got to do it to fill in my labia majora, because it was deflated, because all the notes they said, and they did, it's extensive notes after the surgery, and it was saying that it's because it was deflated and they were able to actually put the fat in there and fill it in, which is amazing. And the other part of the surgery went in for was the tissue surrounding the urethra, the spongy corpus, the erectile tissue of that was around the urethra, because it was bulging out. So they pretty much shaved that down, and once they shaved that down, I was told they weren't expecting me to have excess skin. And because I had excess skin, they said they were able to fix, or try to fix, the asymmetry with my labia minora, which before surgery, the right side was the longer side and the left side was the shorter side in terms of length from the mons pubis, like the clitoral hood, down to the perineum. But because it's been like a couple of weeks healing, what's happened was, painful and uncomfortable as it is, my body decided that the asymmetry, where it's longer on the right side, to go back to having the length like that. So yeah, so I still have asymmetry, so it is what it is. Could be hormone related, genetic related, combination of both. It's like, with this amount of hormones, with these genetics, it's supposed to be like this, because everyone's different. So yeah. And the other thing I noticed they fixed was with my labia minora, the inner labia. They're able to lift it back up magically, as they are able to do it, which I wasn't expecting them to be able to get that lifted the way they did and do the extra work they did. And so it's pretty much my labia minora was lifted up, my labia majora was filled in, and they're able to roll it together like this so that it looks normal, like normal vulva. And my urethra, and like the entrance of the urethra, that outer part right there at the entrance, he shaved it down on an angle, so when I urinate it goes more downward towards, like when urinating, instead of shooting like forward more, so it helps it to angle it down more, so it's more of a more normal flow as it exits. So yeah, and it was really uncomfortable because then what happened was, that night, it was an outpatient procedure. That night they didn't have me dilate, they had me start dilating the next morning. The 13th was when I had the surgery, so it was the 14th is when I started dilating. I wasn't able to get the orange dilator in at first. What happened was, I tried. It was really uncomfortable, painful to even, it was on the, for some reason, it's the right side is where the most discomfort and pain's been, where the labia minora, like the, yeah, labia minora and the vaginal entrance is, that spot where all the stitches are, it was on the right side. So I went down to the green, was able to get the green in, but when I contacted them, they wanted me to start at the blue, then go to the green, because I wasn't able to get the depth at that point. So they didn't want me to lose depth. So I started with the blue for about, they wanted me to do it for 10 minutes. Then the other 20 minutes on green. So I did that for about a week. Then I stopped using the blue because I was able to use the green. Then I went from the blue to the green. Then they wanted me to keep trying and get back to the orange. So I kept trying, and I got it in a little bit. Then I got it in a little bit more until I didn't need the blue one anymore. So I was using the green dilator. Then after I did the 30 minutes with the green, when I got back to being able to use the green without the blue, then after that, for about a minute, I would use the orange. And then I just felt like I needed to just do the orange, and I was able to use the orange to depth. So I'm back using the orange to full depth, even though it's still a little bit tight and I have to pretty much coax my vagina open, like kind of tease it a little bit just to get it open, because it's still tight as the swelling and everything's going down. And some spots, like in the vaginal canal and next to the left side of my labia, my left labia minora, where it connects to labia majora, those white spots like you get with the initial surgery, I have a few of those that are healing, that happen when you have this kind of surgery. So yeah, and I have to use extra lubricant, which sucks, having to be able, because then it uses more of my supply that I have to get more of soon. And luckily, where I've been getting my lubricant, because I've been using the Adam and Eve, because two of the ingredients in it, they have antibacterial and antifungal properties in it, and that really does help to not get infections and whatnot. Where I live, they recently opened a store where I live, and they're going to be opening a second one soon. So now I can get it locally without having to order online and wait. So, and the other thing they've been wanting me to do is use an antibacterial ointment that has bacitracin in it. Like bacitracin, if you can actually get it, or the ointment that has it in it, like Neosporin. So I've just been using the Neosporin with the pain relief, which the one with the pain relief works really well. It has lidocaine in it. So I've just been putting it down there where it's been, because it was bleeding, then it stopped bleeding. And since it stopped bleeding, I noticed that pinkish color, like how I mentioned next to the urethra, I had that normal, like, female pinkish color. There's more of that down there. So hopefully that correct color stays. And just using the ointment where the stitches are is helping with the discomfort and to prevent those infections so it doesn't go pussy like things did with the initial surgery. And the other thing I'm not too keen about, or like liking, have to wear a compression binder for 6 weeks from my surgery date. 6 weeks from there. The only time, it was the first 48 hours I wasn't able to shower. But when I shower, I can take it off. That's the only time I'm able to take it off. Then I have to put, because they have like foam padding under it in the spots where they took the fat out. Because what they did, like, would be the sides right here. They put through here and here. They went all the way through the sides, like where my waist is and everything, to get that fat. Then they closed it up with glue, like the surgical glue. Then as the glue falls off, you have to massage those spots. Then it's like right, they also did right here where the fat roll was right here. They didn't put glue here because they didn't need to. So it's basically compressing that whole area because I have to wear it for 6 weeks because of the fluid. Then down there where they injected it, the fat, they put the glue down there too. I'm just waiting for that glue to fall off because you have to wait for it to fall off. And once it falls off, then you can massage to prevent scarring and whatnot. So, yeah. And I can't remember which side was which, but when they injected the fat, they put more in one side than the other to make it look even. And I noticed that the left side, the swelling's gone down faster than the right side. And the way the fat is and everything in there, and how they're able to lift my labia minora and all that, it looks completely different than before. Like right where my clitoral hood is, it has like more filled in next to it, so the shape of it looks different than what it did before. So yeah. Other than that, I'm really happy with the results because it looks like a normal vulva now compared to before. And I don't have that issue. Because what they were saying with the pain I was having, they're saying it's probably because I don't have that fat to cushion the nerve endings, like the nerves. So that pain I haven't been feeling since surgery. where the mons pubis connects to the labia majora. So that's fixed a lot of issues. And the that excess erectile tissue, the spongy corpus, they were saying it was obstructing the vaginal canal. So I don't have the issue with the bulging out like it was, because that was started to cause dysphoria. Because when it bulges out like that, it's more like before surgery, the way it was constructed. I didn't like that, and now it looks normal, it feels normal, and it feels like it's starting to function normal. So yeah, let's see, anything else I can think of that's happened. It's been itching, burning, and stinging as it's been healing as normal. There hasn't been really much drainage, but bleeding, which is pretty much done. And let's see. Other than that, the only thing I can think of is the fat that's in there now. The way they did it. Because when they do fat transfer from one part of the body to another, they have to do it in a very specific pattern. Because if they don't, then it doesn't get the blood supply and survive. So they had to put it in more like a web, like a crisscross pattern. Something like this, where it goes this way and this way, in a bunch of directions like that. And they said about 50% is what stays, and the rest your body absorbs. So, it looks like as the swelling's going down, it's looking even as much as possible. And I noticed the fat, instead of like being more squishy, it feels a little bit more hard instead of squishy. Like the fat in your tummy, and you like poke at it, how more soft and squishy it is. With it where they did the transfer, it feels more hard. And it's weird that the right side is retaining more fat than the left side. So right at the vaginal entrance where the labia majora is, the right side is keeping that fat, even though it looked like right in that spot at first, it looked like just the labia majora. Then after some time of healing, then the asymmetry went back to what it was before. So you can see the difference between the labia minora and majora, the length right there. That fat feels like more like stiffer, I can say, like a more of a stiff kind of a hard, compared to the left side where it feels like that fat isn't really in there, but I still have the shape. It's more like soft, not as much. So yeah. And let's see, with my clitoral hood, it's still movable and mobile like they like it to be. And as things keep healing, the one feeling I keep getting that's really annoying right now is my body keeps sending like signals or trying to like with my clitoris, especially more so when I got fully back to the orange dilator. It's wanting to kind of, I can say, be aroused or like swell up. And I'm trying not to let that happen, just so I can get more healing before I can have anything sexual done, but my body's extremely craving it badly, and it's not a fun process when the feeling is back, and the nerves reconnect and whatnot, and that happens. And I noticed the internal part of the clitoris, how hard it was. It's like before the revision, it was a little bit more hard, I can say, or stiffer. And since surgery, it's been a lot softer. The internal part, the part that's pretty much the upper part, that's, yeah, right there. That part you're kind of able to see, that's a little bit bigger because of testosterone. It's a lot softer, so let's see how things continue healing and looking. Since the revision, I'm extremely happy. They're able to do the extra work and utilize that excess skin the way they did, because it's fixed all the issues I was having. And instantly after the surgery, more so that now that the swelling's gone down, that mind-body connection is so much stronger than what it used to be. Yeah, that mind-body connection is just like instantly connected, and the dysphoria is just gone, just like instantly. And that's what I really wanted to happen. And yeah, and the thing is, it's a blessing to be able to have this done when you're able to. So, and the overall feeling and look of it, even though the best way I could describe it is it's like more prominent or bigger labia. I have more than what usually people are able to get. So all I can say is as the swelling continues to go down, all I can say is I have bigger, and so I'm part of the community that has bigger labia. So yeah, and like mentally, like the way the body sends signals to how the brain sends the signals to the body, because I have a female brain and that's how it functions, and all the signals from the genitalia to my brain and all that fun stuff that happens. I just like instinctively and internally knew I'm supposed to have exactly how it is. And now it's exactly that way. It feels normal for me, even though it's bigger than the average. I'm happy with it, and I don't regret it one bit. So that's all I can really say is it was worth it. And all the extra work they did, it was so worth it. All of it, to feel the way I'm feeling and not have that dysphoria anymore. So until my next video, please comment. Give me thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And please comment. If you have any questions, I do my best to answer. So, until my next update, till then,